There's Gani Ruim, outdoors, beautiful chuppah. Nice stuff.
Who made a chassid?
My brother-in-law, I think they're cats. Why were you there?
Because I wasn't invited.
In Israel, you're not invited.
I didn't even know about
people
it.
brought 4 or 5 kids uninvited. You know what I'm saying? It's
I
not.
didn't even know about it. So why would I?
You're live, by the way.
For real?
For real. 7:15. Oh, yeah.
Okay. No pressure.
I don't know the guy.
Kidding. There's other people there. So well, there's a guy, Mamish, a guy shows up to the class and barely knows him. Brought his kids with. Well, why not?
Yeah, Uncle, no?
Yeah. Okay. Today's shir is being sponsored L'Refuas Shoshana Razia Bas Silko.
No, I'm not now.
Omer Avona, let's just go back a few lines, even though we learned it, it has a better flow, we'll do it real quickly. Omer Rav Onon, Shabbos Minei de Mar Shmuel Tarti. Says Rav Onon, I heard from Shmuel 2 halachas, and I'm not exactly sure what I heard. Chodahach, this halacha that you can't sell a field on Yovel. V'idach hamoicher avdei legoyim or b'chutz la'aretz yotzel lecherus. And if you try to sell a slave to somebody that lives outside of Eretz Yisrael, the slave goes free. Chada hadrzvini, v'chada lehadrzvini. One of these 2 halachas I learned that the buyer loses his money, and the other one he doesn't lose his money. V'lo yadana himinayu. I'm not sure which one is it.
This is where the slave originally started in Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah, slave started in Eretz Yisrael, and you're trying to take away from him the mitzvahs of Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah,
Do we need to say over the kasha of Rashi?
they're not taking away the mitzvah. He's not allowed to leave there. That's when you live in Eretz
Okay,
Yisrael.
he's not allowed to leave Eretz Yisrael. Good point. Correct. There's a certain individual that I'm very, very close to who refused to come to my daughter's wedding, no matter what. I said, I'll pay for you, I'll this, I'll that. No, I don't leave Eretz Yisrael. Once he said, but once he said he's not, then I started paying. That was the trick, you forgot.
Yes, that's only for taking credit that you were willing to pay.
We said you can't do that, remember?
What?
And I was willing.
You can't, no.
No, I was willing. Oh, I can't do to Nachman. I can't tell Nachman that. Oh, if you would have said that, yeah, you're right. That yes, but to him I was really willing. Omer Rav Yosef, Nechze Anan. Says Rav Yosef, why can't we figure it out ourselves? It says Mefurish in the Brisa that if you sell your slave to somebody in Chutz La'aretz because he's not allowed to leave Eretz Yisrael, so he needs a get from his second master. But what does it say? That he's a second master. The Brisa calls it second master. If it's a second master, it's a raya that it was a good mechira and that he loses his money. Shema min l'sheni rabbi amalei hadrizvini. He doesn't get his money back. And the Gemara is going to go into it today. Why not? And in our sugya, by this field that he sold on Yovel, Shmuel will say it's not considered a mechira at all, and he gets his money back. V'ravonon. So what's pshat? Now we're holding today's daf. Daf lamed. We have to say that since he couldn't come up with this himself, Ravonon, he obviously didn't hear this brisa. With Shmuel, and from Shmuel himself, that Shmuel says that it's not a mechira. We learned that it's not a mechira, the field. You can't prove from the fact that it's not a mechira that the money comes back, that it's not a mechira. Why? There's a concept where somebody gives money, he loses the money, and it's not a mechira. Somebody who wants to be, everybody knows you can't make kiddushin to your own sister. So you see that Shmuel holds in that case, he maybe just wants to give his sister a present, whatever it is. He knows what?
Without paying taxes.
Or without her being embarrassed. So instead of giving her matana, he says, listen, Harez Mekudeshesli. She says, oh, really? And she takes it and says, I fooled you, you got to, whatever, I don't know the case exactly. The point is that if somebody does such a thing, it works. So over here also, maybe he does some sort of mechira and he gives it bimatana.
It was like a deposit, so she's keeping it for safekeeping.
That's according to Rav.
Yeah.
According to Rav. According to Shmuel, it's matana.
He wants to give him a Shmuel. It's got Chalesh Matana.
It seems like he wants to give him matana.
Why? What are you saying?
Because it doesn't make sense. Because that's I think that's pretty much the sugi over there. He's trying to give her a matana and he just says a B'lashon Kedushin. No, he's not a Meshogana. That the Gemara says. The Gemara establishes over there.
That's what Rashi says.
There's no person in the world that doesn't know this halacha.
But you can't marry your sister.
You can't marry your sister.
Of course not.
Even in far-fetched places in America, they know that. Omar Leah Bailer Rav Yosef.
Not in Mississippi.
Ask they do. They're just over. Omar Leah Bailer Rav Yosef. My chos is the ganzin leiloi keyach niknasil moicher. It's not fair. Why do we take away the money from the buyer and we don't punish the seller at all? This crime takes two to tango. There's a seller, there's a buyer. Why is the buyer punished more than the seller? Amalei, lav achber ganav elachar ganav. Interesting. The mouse is not the ganav. When he takes food, he can't take the food and get away with it without a hole. Oh, that's today. What? How do you don't know?
Gefilte fish.
Lav achber ganav. It's a very interesting. I'm not so sure what the havamina over here is. Says the Gemara, Lav achber chayra min alei. If you don't have a mouse, you don't have a hole. In other words, without the seller, you don't have a buyer. Obviously, you need the seller. Why do we just ignore the seller completely? Zog the Gemara mistaber heicha de iseli yisuro kan sinon. So the Gemara says a beautiful svara. Right now, at this point, where's the slave? He's in the possession of the buyer. So Mela, we have to take care of the buyer. We take his money away and we take the Eved away, and Mela, he's left without anything, and the punishment is his. So we learned in the Mishnah that if you need 2 years, there's a freezer. If you sell your field, you can't redeem it for 2 years. Says the Mishnah that if one of the 2 years was a shnas shidafon, you couldn't plow it, you couldn't do anything with it, it doesn't count for the 2 years. You get 2 years that you could actually plant things in the field. But the Mishnah says 2 things. It says that if the buyer decided not to plant on his own, either he plowed the field and he didn't plant, or he just didn't plant. Ask the Gemara, so why does the Mishnah say 2 things? Just say a case where he didn't plant, or Nara means that he plowed the field, decided not to plant. Okay, you don't need both cases. Nara Yitzrich says the Gemara. At the end of the day, he put a lot of work into it. He plowed the field, and then the other guy comes along and redeems it. Obviously, in a certain amount of time where you see he doesn't want to do anything with it. So Mela, the chiddush is that he doesn't have to pay for the what?
Just say Nara.
Just say Nara, and I would know.
No, she don't.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't
I
know.
would know if he decides not to plow it at all.
I wouldn't know.
Why not?
Because
If Nara,
he didn't do anything. So maybe it's similar to a year of shidafan. He didn't do anything. It's completely foul.
Even when he did something and then left it alone, we don't do anything.
Yeah, but he did something, so you see that he's mamish a pesheya. Why did he stop in middle? Over here, he took a break. I don't know if it's dafka, but you see another thing here, because it bothered me, but I saw they discuss it. What if a person plows the field and then the seller comes and redeems the field right away?
They can't take that 2 years.
No. After 5 years, the beginning of the 5th year, he takes his tractor out, he plows the field. A day later, the guy says, "Hey, by the way, I want to buy the field back." He gets paid for the plowing. That's what they say. It's dafka this case where you see that he doesn't want to plow. He waits a certain tkufa and he sees that he did nothing with the plowing. Reb Eliezer Oimer mechor eloi. Tanya Reb Eliezer Oimer minayin shemachar eloi lefnei Rosh Hashanah mlei pears. So the Gemara just explains a little bit more what's going on at the end of the Mishnah where he ate 3 crops. The pasuk says, Mimka shtei tfuos. There's 2 crops. You have to wait for 2 crops. But the Mishnah says that it's possible that you get even a 3rd crop if the 3rd crop was all the way, when you sold the field, you sold it with a crop. So you get 1 free crop. Gemara explains, listen, I sold it to you with a crop, so give it back to me with a crop.
You only get 2 now.
Let's see Rashi inside. Rashi says, even 3. Why does it say anything about tfuah at all? Or say 2 tfuos, 2 crops. The fact that it says mispar shnei tfuos, I learned from there, it's 2 crops or even the 3rd crop if that's how the field came. Says the Mishnah, Mechara l'rishon b'mana u'mechara rishon l'sheni b'masayim. So we're talking about pidyon of azdei achuzah. So a guy has azdei achuzah, he sells it to somebody. He sells it to the first guy for 100. Now he wants to redeem it. How much does he redeem it for? For 100, minus the years that he used it. Giroin. Let's say he bought it for 100 for 10 years, so it's 10 for every year. The guy used it for 5 years, he gives him 50. But what happens if u'machara rishon l'sheni b'masayim? Now we have a big problem. He sold it for 200. So now the value of the field went up to 200. So what do we use? Do we use the value of the field today, or do we use the purchase price, the original purchase price? Says the Mishnah, so here's what's interesting. For this you actually need to see it inside. That's why I did this. If you just read the Mishnah, it's doesn't show it as well. Here's the pasuk in red. This is what we're talking about. No, we're talking about the green. But this is the whole pasuk. The Gemara says we're going to play around with this word leish. It's not 2 psukim, because when I read it, I thought it's 2 psukim. Then I look inside the pasuk. It says leish, smack in the middle of the pasuk. So the Mishnah in the beginning says, I can do whatever I want with this pasuk. I can use it for my advantage, for the guy that's being paid as advantage. If it pays for him to pay like the original selling price, loish asher mochar loy, to the man that he sold it to. Okay, so we're going to go by the purchase price. But if today the purchase price is higher than the value today, then I do this part of the pasuk. Loish, and I stop by the ish. Either I use the ish for the bottom, that's why it's in black. The ish could go in both directions.
It makes it impossible to buy a field.
Yeah, for that second corner.
But you're not really buying
Always
the field.
make it easier for the one.
For the paida.
Yeah, but isn't it-
It's a crazy.
Oh, you mean the second guy?
Somebody could turn up, about 20 years later and say,
So you fix the price, you get your
I
money.
need to know how much.
Right.
Only a rental price.
It's all market. So you right.
Anyway, you know it's good.
That's why everything's so cheap in those days.
You're only renting it.
And the only time would be like, what's the rental fee?
After 99 years, it should go.
Right. What he's saying.
But according to the,
Time out.
they know they have option of renewing the lease.
No, but it's different. It's different.
Not
You,
contract.
In your contract, yeah. In Yerushalayim, Or Chavia have this issue with the Greek.
I heard, yeah, with the Greek.
And they're taking it back.
Are they taking it back?
They're not going to take them back. They're going to buy it. They're going to sell them. They'll pay them money, whatever.
No.
Greek church isn't going to take their
No,
house.
no,
They'll make
Okay.
it work.
That's a question.
But wait, time it. That's
make it
different.
work.
You know in your contract that in 99 years you're going to lose it. What he's saying is you don't know anything. In 22 years somebody can come along and pay you less than what you paid. No, less. It could go both ways. Whatever is better for the paida. If you bought it for 100, if you sold it for 100, and now it's worth in Rechavia, it's worth 200. My father-in-law Adiyam has the biggest charata he ever has, and this thing. Even though he has hotels and the Chavesvas, he had a house in Rechavia right across the street from Shmuel Auerbach's yeshiva. It was a 3-story house, and he sold it for $700,000, $750,000. He made $100,000. He was all excited then. When I got married, we stayed there for a few years. I think it's a $5 million house, $7 million. I don't even know what it's worth today. Okay,
Poor father-in-law.
right. That's what I'm saying. He has charata.
You talk about Shabbos.
You can always rely on Nachman. Listen.
So sad.
So what happens here? The guy bought a house for $750,000 in Rechavia.
The guy is a billionaire, okay?
David's watching.
He's a billionaire, okay?
It doesn't matter how wealthy he is. It's a charata. It's something that hurts him.
The question is, what's the vote? How come it's always the issue?
Hold on, let me just say this mashal. He bought a house for $750,000 in the 90s, and today it's worth $7 million. So a guy could come to him, the original seller, my father. Here's $750,000. Shalom Yisrael. That's what he gives him. $750,000. That's in a house. We're going to get to the house soon. But that's the halacha. Yeah. Every Jew knows a building he could have bought it for $10. Yeah. We're big Bekim in him back in the day. But you like that. You like how... Yeah.
That's the definition of a Jew.
But it's a famous... It's very true. It's very true. It's not. It's Ma'am Shemes. Yeah. There's a guy, I have a friend that his grandfather gets in the mail some sort of letter every year. I forgot, there's an insurance company. His grandfather, maybe it's his great-grandfather, bought like a huge farm for Bupkis in the middle of Manhattan. It's probably one of the most expensive places on earth. Maybe Hong Kong is more expensive. Like square blocks. So they do matayva every year. They invite him. This like Prudential. They bought it from him. They're the buyers in the early 1900s. He could have owned billions and billions of dollars worth. Every Jew could have. Now he actually owned it. Not could have. He actually owned it.
The people of Beit Shemesh.
Yeah.
The original.
They owned all these mountains.
They were offered. They weren't doing well in Beit Shemesh.
Oh, my shver was offered the Beis Forest for $1 million. Here, this is fine. Anyways.
This is getting very this conversation. I don't
They were
know.
offered an area in Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
Where today the main center of Tel Aviv is.
Instead of Beit Shemesh.
Instead of Beit Shemesh, and they refused it because the sand was no good. And they couldn't do it.
Azoyis. Okay, fine. Or my grandfather. Wait a minute. Or my grandfather could have bought in Bnei Brak, but instead he bought a machine to hatch eggs. Fine. Let's get through this Mishnah, Rabbi said. So the buyer turns around and sells it for a profit. He sells it for 200. And in Mechashiv Elo Marishon, big halacha here. The Redeemer doesn't care about anybody but the first purchaser. Shenemar lo ish asher mochar lo. He takes this pasuk, he comes to Bezdin with the blue part of the pasuk, lo ish asher mochar lo, shalom aleichem. I only want to pay 100. Great. Now, another story. Mechara l'rishon b'mosayim. If he sold it for a big profit, like my guy in Decatur, Illinois, I understand that property goes down in value, so it went down in value. And now he whips out the pasuk and he says, Lo'ish, I go by the second guy. I don't have to go by the first guy. Now I'm going to pay the lower price because the lower price is the second guy. All of a sudden, Lo'ish goes with this part of the pasuk. Okay? So what do we have here right now? Fine. And the Gemara is going to elaborate a little bit more. Was is das? Once you're doing that, I might as well say that today's shir is being sponsored for my sister-in-law, Shoshana Razi Basilka. I started the whole 8-minute daf. In her schos, she's going through a very, very important surgery today. She went through a lot of chemo, and today is a big day. So, our hearts are with her. Where? In Manhattan somewhere. I assume, I think Memorial, yeah. Sloan Kettering. V'chishav es shnei mimkoroi v'heishav v'soidev leish. Leish asher v'soichoi. Fine. Another halacha. Now the Gemara is going to elaborate on this halacha. Lo yimkor berochoik v'iyigal bekorov. This is an amazing halacha. A person wants to redeem his field, and he has a shvacha field, mamash, a weird field he can barely do anything, or a field that's in Decatur, Illinois. It's too far away. So what does he do? He sells his field in order to redeem this field. It's a no-no. You can't do that. You can't raise money to do a redemption for even your own stuff. You can't. Of course, the opposite is also true. That you can't sell a close field in order to redeem a further away field. But why would anybody do that? We're saying even in the normal case, Tosfos points out, the regular case, you want to get rid of your properties that are far away in order to buy properties that are close to you. That you can't do. Or Birava Yigal B'Yafa. Here, that makes here, it's just straight out. You can't get rid of your bad property in order to redeem a good property. It only makes sense. You should. Why not? I want to get rid of my bad to get better properties. No.
Well, what's the time frame for that? If I want to get rid of the get rid of it, then it's mine. It's sitting in my account, and now I can be going over this other field.
Oh, you mean you do some sort of trick?
That's right. I'm saying your money in it. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
Your money, no?
And what about this next halacha? Don't borrow and redeem. So I'll borrow today and I'll wait 3 years, and then okay, that for sure you can. And the third halacha is you can't redeem partially. If you're going to redeem the whole thing. Don't. But let's say it's different. This is if you sold, you can't redeem halfway. But if, let's say, I made a zdei achuzah, I gave it to the Beis Hamikdash, and I want to redeem, I could redeem half of my field. That's not a problem. Ube hegdish muter bekulan. Hegdish doesn't have the problem. We're going to see this in machlokes. Doesn't have. You could redeem half. I could sell my property to redeem it. So over here, it seems from this part of the Mishnah that hedyoit to redeem your own field that you. Yeah, I hope they're chalva lovers, because my father-in-law, the one that the Nachman announced his wealth, he bought 600 shekel worth of chalva for the shear, specifically for the shear, because he thought that's what the Olam likes. So I hope the Olam likes it. That expensive stuff from the shuk, you know.
I hope he's better at real estate than at choosing chalva.
No, because I bought for the shear, Thursday night shear, chalva, and he came in once and he says, "What's this?" I said, "This is a Thursday night shir chalva." He said, "Oh, okay, fine."
You also had
so I said, "By the way, they don't like chalva, but worse than that, I don't have a Thursday night shir anymore." It's like, oops. He's like, bags of chalva. This is only 2 boxes of it, but there's four more at home. Torah Rabbana, mechar l'rishon b'mana u'mechar l'rishon l'sheni b'mosayim. The first guy, he sold it to for 100. Then the price went up. He sold it to the second guy. This we had in the Mishnah. So what do we have until now? We have that Rebbe says that we go by the purchase price. It doesn't matter which purchase price. You hear Rabbi say? It could be the first purchase price, it could be the second purchase, it could be the third purchase price. It goes by the lowest purchase price you want to choose. Rabbi the Stoy ben Yehuda Omer, Mechar Eloi ben Mana, if he sold it for 100, Vishbicha v'amda al Mosayim, and it became more valuable. There's no sale here. It just became more valuable. How do I know that I go by the original purchase price? Shenemar v'heishav is ha'oidef. Ha'oidef should be yadai. From the purchase price, the original sale price that they did all in the beginning. So Rabbi Destoy is saying you go by the original price. Okay, that's one purchase. He doesn't say anything about the final purchase price. What if he sold it for a lot and it dropped in value? How do I know that I could go by the lower price? Shenemar, in other words, by the lower value. We're not talking about a purchase price now. Rebbe was talking about purchase. We go by whatever purchase price you pick. Whatever is better for you. The last one is a lower price, go by that one. The first one is lower. Rebbe Destoy now is saying, the field itself, we value it. If the value of the field went down, use that as your basis. If the original purchase price is lower, use that as your basis. So you have a purchase price and a value. My benayu. So where's the practical difference between the two? Givaldik, says the Gemara. Here's the practical difference. According to Rebbe again, we go by purchase price only. So if there's a purchase price in the beginning, and there's a purchase price in the middle, stage 2. Here, stage 1 is a guy sold his field, how much was it? 200. That's a very high purchase price. I would like to ignore that, says Rebbe. What could I could do better. I go to step number 2. Because Shimon, that bought it from Reuven, he sells it to Levi. For how much? For 100. Says Rebbe, I could go by the purchase price. Even the second purchase price. The lowest of the 2. The lowest of the 3. Then it went back in value to 200. I could still use this as my pidyon. But Rebbe Dustoi says, no, I could only use the first purchase price or the final value. I can't use a middle purchase price. Memela, how much is the value today? 200. I'm stuck according to Rebbe Dustoi. I could use the first purchase price, which is 200. That's not good for me. And I could use the value today, which is not good for me. Too bad. I have to use the 200. I have to ignore, according to Rebbe Dustoi, a middle purchase price, because that's not one of the options. It's either the first purchase price or the value. According to Rebbe, it's only purchase price. Let's see inside. My benayu, the yaker v'zol v'yaker. He sold it for 200, it went down to 100, and it went back up to 200. Fine. Taisus also points out, I have another case, a little bit different, and the outcome is the opposite. What if what if he sold it, Reuven sold to Shimon for 200, and it dropped to 100 in Shimon's hands. There's no Levi. Dropped to 100. According to Rebbe, that you only go by a purchase price, the purchase price is 200. So he's stuck with 200. But according to Rebbe Dustoi, you go by the value today. The value today is 100. Says Taisus, I don't have to come on that he sold it to somebody else. He sold it to one person, and the outcome was going to be reversed. According to Rebbe Dustoi, there's a kula. According to Rebbe Dustoi, it's 100. Whereas in this case, according to Rebbe Dustoi, it's 200 because you go by the first or the last. Where's that?
Illinois somewhere. Decatur, Illinois.
Oh, Decatur, Illinois.
Decatur.
Decatur, Illinois.
$2,000
$2,000 for whole.
I'm telling you.
In England, you can't even get somewhere to park your bicycle outside your
No,
car.
but they have places even in Eretz Yisrael. If you want the chveis in the desert somewhere, you could also get it for $2,000.
And it's written on you? No.
In the chveis was in some sort of crazy in Rosh Hashanah. How much is it? I don't know. Not Rosh Hashanah. Not Rosh Hashanah. Whatever. I don't know where. In Dimona. How much is a field in Dimona cost?
You can't get anywhere listed on your name in Israel anything less than 100,000 shekels. Nothing.
Okay, but there's places that are much cheaper than here. Let's put it that way.
18 minutes.
The glow green. Oh, that's right. Fine. Ask the Gemara a simple question. Both according to Rebbe and according to Rebbe Dustoi, we give the guy a break. We give him a kula. But you guys are so well behaved today. I'm going to use that. So we learn out this pidyon from Eved Ivri. What's going on in Eved Ivri? And now we're going to go into Eved Ivri. Also give Eved Ivri. If Eved Ivri wants to redeem himself, what does he base it on? Either the lower of the two. Either his purchase price, which might be lower than his value today, or his value today, which is lower than the purchase price. Whichever one he chooses, whichever one is to his advantage. He went up in value. You go according to the purchase price. If he went down in value, again, you go by the lower of the two. We want him to get out of the guy, so we do him a favor. What?
Who says that's Lakula? Maybe do it the other way.
Okay.
It's the same question.
Yeah. But we're going to see in this soon, it makes it stronger. Shenimka Yisrael minayin Talmud loymar sochir sochir l'gzeir shava. Now the Gemara is going to say why. Omar Abaya, amazing Gemara. Hareini daf lamed omid beis. Hareini kiven azai b'shukei tferi. We just had this ben azai in Bechoros. Ben azai stood up one day and he said, all the chacham of the generation are like a klipas hashum lefanai. So Abaye is saying the same thing. He stood up in the marketplace in Tver. He says, Rabbi Isai, everybody, I know everything. Ask me anything you want. Shoot. Ask me a question. Omar le'ah umar rabbanan la'Abaye. Oh yeah? That's your question. Why is an Eved Ivri, why are you so nice to him? Why do you say he could be redeemed on the lower of the two prices? Says Abaye, I'll tell you why. I'm like Ben Azai. Everybody, I know all the answers. You see that the Torah was nice to have it every. The Sanya. You have to give him food. Famous Gemara, right? You shouldn't eat pas nakiya v'oichel pas kibar. If anybody knows, by the way, I did not think about this before, but my wife eats this pas kibar stuff. So if you know anybody that it's very healthy, pas kibar, I think. I don't know if it's the same thing, but like spelt, we eat geschmacka white bread. She goes and she went to Rechavia and she bought by somebody like this bread. I said, how much was? I'm not joking. A spell, but it was what we had.
Sprout.
No, what we had by the guy. What is it called? He brings from sourdough. 10 rolls and a bread, 100 shekel. She thought it was a normal price. Ato shoyis. If anybody knows here in Ramat B'Shem that does good sourdough, really?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good thing I asked. Haskibor. Ato shoyis yain yoshon.
Sourdough for 80.
With the rolls or without the rolls?
Without the rolls.
Yeah. Don't you be drinking this fancy wine and give him the garbage. And you say you're on a Stanley Pastorpedic Masters and he's on the ground. When you buy Eved Ivri, it's like buying a dog, basically. All of a sudden, he shows you who's boss. He walks in front, you have to scoop up behind him. Yeah, Bekitzer, there's a famous Tosfos. He's your other, and maybe you're just equals. You both are drinking fancy wine, and you're both sleeping on nice mattresses. Why is he your master? That's the famous, that's Tosfos. If there's only one pillow, you have to give it to him, so Mamela, he's your master.
For his mattress. So then he wouldn't be on a mattress.
But you're equal to him. How's he above you?
What do you mean?
But how's he above you? Because if there's one, he's above you. You're sleeping on the floor. If there's only one mattress, you're on the floor, he's on the mattress.
You really should buy a second.
Okay. Fine. Freddy Gemara, Adarabba.
He's on the floor.
Adarabba Nachmer Aleim and the Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina. So Gemara Sekash on Abaya. Why should you be nice? Why are you nice to the Eved Ivri? It's a chiv deraisa. It's a deraisa. Domer Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina. Boyrei kama kosher after shel shvius. This is mamish amazing. If you pay attention, if you even look to the side of your Gemara, you see all those psukim. Unfortunately, there's so many. There's 15, I believe. Literally, a lot of psukim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 psukim. Sorry. So this is what it looks like on a. You're not going to be able to see it. But the Bekitzer, the point is, the Gemara takes Perek Chafein Vayikra and just says that the entire Perek is talking about this one thing: a guy that does business on Shemitah. It's Issa Deraisa, but the Gemara calls it Avak Shemitah, because the real Isser that the Torah says, the Loisasa, is plowing and Zereya. But to do business is Isser, it's an assay, it's whatever, fine. Akoponim, what happens here? Boy rei kama kosher afkas shvius. Adam noise v'noise v'per shvius. It just goes step by step. It gets worse and worse. L'soif moicher mital delov shenemar b'shnas hayovel azis tashuvu yishlach uzase. On yovel also it's just like Shemitah. You're not allowed to do any business with the fruit. And so that's pasuk number 1 over here. Pasuk Yud Gimel in Perek Chafei. What does Pasuk Yudalet say? It's talking about davar niknem yad liyad. It's talking about metalton. So the pasuk is saying, pasuk Yudalet is telling you, if you're a bad boy in pasuk Yud Gimel, you're going to end up selling your movable objects, your metalton. Lo hirgish. The guy didn't do tshuva, and he continues doing shmita. L'soif moicher sedoisav shenemar v'chiyom chachicha mocher machuzasai pasuk chafei. We jump a few psukim, but it's all within the same parak. Umocher machuzasai in yellow. Lo bas liyadai. Now notice, before it said lo hirgish. Over here it says lo bas liyadai. He didn't do tshuva. L'soif moicher's beisai. Next one. Pasuk Chavtes, v'ishki yimkar beis Moshe avir chayma, shenemar v'ishki yimkar beis Moshe avir chayma. The Gemara digresses for a second. Maish nahasim the kamar lehirgish, maish nahachad the kamar lebas liyada, keder Ravuna, dam Ravuna, kivin shava adam aver v'shanaba. If a person does the aver twice, hutrulai, he becomes mutter. Hutrulai so gedaitach what? It's mutter. Elaim on nasis like a heter. Once you do it, you forget that you have to do tshuva, and Rahman Slan, you just over and over, and it becomes a heter to you. You forget about tshuva. Like bas liyadai. It's not like hirgish that he didn't feel. It just didn't come to him. It didn't even occur to him that he has to do tshuva. Like bas liyadai. Like bas liyadai. L'soif shaloi v'b'leribis. Sheneva v'chiyom chochicha. So that's the next pasuk. Lamed hey. It's not the next, but the next in the chart. After Chavtes goes Lamed hey v'chiyom chochicha. He's going to borrow with ribis. Like bas liyadai. Shomoiches bitoi. He's going to sell his daughter as a shivcha. It's not in the chart. Selling your daughter is not in Perik Chafei, Rabbi Isai. So how does it fit into what we just said? Says the Gemara, you're right. Because we just said that he's going to borrow with ribis. Selling your daughter is less chomer in the time of the Gemara. Selling off your daughter, you wouldn't know about it because you don't have daughters. But we have daughters, we understand. It's not a big deal. Sometimes when they come home and they start singing those songs from the plays over and over and over, you just sell her off.
Just wish you could.
It's better than being loiva beribis, trust me. Ribis is really bad. Why? The ilahasam magro migara v'azla. When you borrow with ribis, it just gets worse and worse. It compounds and it's terrible. I forgot what the thing is, but if you borrow with ribis at 10%, 10% is 10%. So it's 10. It doubles your money in the compounds. It's out of 7 years maybe. I'll go upon him. But by a daughter, every year that she's there, you know you're gonna get her back soon, and it's gonna be cheaper for you to take her out. As time goes on, it gets better, and as time goes on by ribis, it gets worse. Again, in Perek Chafei, it says, maybe he won't even be sold to a Jew, but to a ger. That's really embarrassing. If you have to be a slave to a ger, I mean, he's not even miyuchas. Mamish bad. Then it says, Mishpachas ger zeh goy. Rahman al-Islan, he might even be sold to a goy. Kshu oimer oile eker. Says Taisvis, oile eker, lefi shesovin shal avedis hazara, li oker dar shachi. Le'eker, the word eker means, ze'animker v'nase koimer la'avedis zara atzma. He might be a slave to avedis zara, to bring the water for avedis zara. It's the worst, it's not asur, but it's the worst feeling in the world. You're mamish doing work for avedis zara. This is all because you're dealing with Perish Shemitah. So what's the kasha? It's his fault. He's dealing with Perish Shemitah, and he doesn't get the hint. HaKadosh Baruch Hu slammed him, he made him sell his field, his house, his daughter, everything, and he still doesn't get it.
He still has his daughter.
I don't know what he has. He has nothing. All these psukim happen to him, and he doesn't get it. No, it can't be that's because of my Shemitah. So Mamela, why are we being nice to him? Why are we letting him out at the lower of the two rates? Asked the Gemara.
If he's sold everything, then he can't be Oli Schmitz anymore.
Not everything,
He's
but
still being punished though. No part of the punishment.
No. What happened was he was selling his fields, and he says, listen, I'm selling everything besides this little piece because I have to be over the aver. How am I going to do it if I sell? Okay. Zog the Gemara Amar Lei Ha'adri Kura. Look, at the end of the day, you see, the Torah was nice to the Eved. V'tanan devei Rabbi Shmuel, hoya ba'alachu mocher atzmi l'Eved zara, itcha Eved acha noifel. A guy that's falling, he's on his face, you're going to take a stone and throw it on his head.
Apparently.
Itcha Eved acha noifel. Tamar loymar, gulasodin ti'aloi, whatever the pasuk over there is. Fine. Says the Gemara, however, so you see the Torah is being nice to him, so you also be nice to him. But the Gemara says, maybe the whole point is to redeem him so he doesn't get involved with the goyim. But it doesn't say what the price should be. Let his family get together and pay the full price. Why are you giving him a discount? Comes Rav Nachman Yitzchak and says a beautiful pshat that the Gemara loves so much. The Gemara uses a very unique lashon. The Gemara says it's mamish like Torah Messina. Like this is how it was, exactly how it said when the Torah was given. Ksiv im oid rabbis bashanim. Do I have one? Maybe yeah. It says in the pasuk two psukim im oid rabbis bashanim ve'im ma'at bashanim. So the Gemara just basically says that this base, that's the end of the sugya, that the base is extra, and then since it's extra, rabbis goes together with mikaseh miknasoi, and ma'at goes together with Kefi Shanov. Says Gemara Rachman Yitzchok. Ksiv imoid rabbis bashanim, uksiv imad nishav bashanim. It's just interesting that these kind of drushes that Chaim loves. Where's Chaim? He's not here. He had to leave when it comes to these drushes. We're still in Kachin. The Gemara says this is mamish misinai. It's not like a Rebbe Torah. Ma'at means a lot. This is Torah Messina. This is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu meant in the pasuk. Imad nishav bashanim. He's going to just ask a simple question: is there such a thing as a long year and a short year? They discuss about what happens to Shana Move Beres, but the Gemara understood that every year has the same amount of days. Elo nisraba kasboy mikesev miknosoi nismayit kasboy kefi shanov. So it means that the pashat pshat is simple pshat that what? Okay, so we don't have the pshat yet. But the Gemara says, if it's
Dirty.
if it went up in value, then it's because of Knasa. If it went down in value, it's Lefi Shanav, what it is right now. Maybe it's like we understand the pasuk. Like if you were to read the pasuk, very simple. If somebody worked 2 years and there's 4 years left, he has to pay for 4 years. And if he worked 4 years, he also gives him there's a little bit of a chiddush here because maybe the slave is worn out, so maybe you don't give per year. It's not a field that every year. Who cares how many years you work? Here, he just got older by 5 years, so his actual value maybe went down, or maybe there's such a chiddush. I doubt it. Eventually he gets weaker. I don't know when, but eventually. Without a base. So the Gemara is now he darshans. This Rabba Kaspoy Bashanim, if he became more valuable in the years that he worked, then Mikesa Miknasai. I go by the lower value of the purchase, because now he's more valuable in the purchase. So I say no, he can redeem himself with the purchase. Nismai Kaspoy Bashanim. But if it went down in value, then it's Kefi Shanov. Then I go with his current value right now. Omer Rav Yosef, Darshinu Rav Nachman Lahane Kroi Kisinai. He said in Mamish, this is the drasha, it's so beautiful, it makes so much sense. It sounds like this is literally how it came down from Sinai. Lo Yimkor Berochaik. Menani, how do you know that you can't sell a field that's even far away from your house in order to redeem? The Tanur Rabbanon Visigo Yodoi. He has to be able to afford it. Yad atzmoi shlo yilve v'yigal. He's not allowed to borrow money in order to do the pidyon. Umatzah, prat l'matzui. You can already have it. Matzah means that he found it in the future and not that he already owns it. Shlo yimkor berochik v'yigal b'karev b'rav v'yigal b'yofa. You shouldn't sell bad and buy good, distant to buy close. Kedei gulasoi. It has to be the full geula. Kedei geula hu goyel ve'en goyel chatzoi. So now the Gemara just says, "L'meimer the matzah." You understood. Matzah means to find in the future. The matzah hash the mashma v'riminu umatzah prat lemamtzi atzmoi. Mikan omar Rabbi Eliezer. What's going on? If a person was chopping wood, let's say, and a projectile went and hit somebody in the head, So he's depends where the head was at the time that he was chopping the wood. If the head came in afterwards, then he's potter. He doesn't go to Golos. He was matzah, he was there beforehand, and then the guy stuck his head out. So you see, matzah means before. Amarava, you're right, sometimes it means this, sometimes it means that, depends on the Indian. We're talking about affording it. It's like a forest. The trees were there beforehand. We have one more minute. Let's go weiter. Ube hegdish. Minani mili, that hegdish is different than a hedyoid, that you could redeem partially. You could sell your belongings in order to redeem. The Tanur Rabbanan, vim go'oil yigal, melamed shaloi ve'goyal. You're allowed to borrow money to do the gula. V'goyal chatzayin, halfway, Omer b'shem matam, lefishim atzinu b'moichz de'achuzah, shipa koichoi, shemigiya yoivel, we have to make it good for him. Because if Yovel comes and goes, v'lo niga lo chizeres lo b'ayim v'yovel, hura koichoi sheni loy v'goyal v'goyal chatzayin. Avo magdish de'achuzah, hoyel shura koichoi, it's bad for him, shemigiya yoivel, v'lo niga lo yotzel kehanim, he could lose it completely. We have to make it easy for him. Yipa koichoi shaloy v'goyal v'goyal chatzayin. Now the Gemara just says real quickly, it's not so pashut like our Mishnah. Tani chada loy v'goy v'goy l'chatzayim. That hegdish you could borrow to redeem, and you can redeem partially. But tani yidach ein loy v'goy l'chatzayim. V'ein goy l'chatzayim. You can't redeem partially, and you can't borrow. Like Asher, Rabbanon, Reb Shimon, Rabbanon are mechulik on our Mishnah. Reb Shimon, they hold that hegdish has the same halacha as hedyoid, and you can't redeem partially. Shoshana Razio Bas Silko should have refuah shleimo.
This Shabbos we're finishing Arachin, so don't forget.